Duraludon, a new Pokemon whose relevance is already starting to fade. Let's check him out. Oh, whoa, what's this? It's merchandise. You can support the channel by going to Gnoggin.net.
Did you really just say woo?
To everyone, yeah. Compared to the pre-Sun and Moon season, the hype train for Sword and Shield is rather small, which I guess is a good thing for everyone who cried about everything being spoiled before the new games were even out. But it works out to being a pretty bad deal to guys like me. How else am I gonna guarantee extra income without blabbing mindlessly about every tiny snippet of news that everybody has already seen and talked about, you know? Well, enough about generic Poketubing. Let's talk about that super interesting Pokemon that I am super excited about, for real, no sarcasm. Ooh, we could put that generic Poketuber font here. It'll piss everybody off. So, Duraludon. No, Duraludon. Duraludon? Duraludon. Duraludon? I'm having a hard time remembering its name. Or it. So the website mentions that it rusts easily, and only some metals rust, so that's information to narrow some things down, because today, we are going to figure out what it is. And recently, the official Pokemon Twitter account was nice enough to give us a tidbit of information. Super glad that they took time out of their busy day to tell us that it weighs a total of 88 pounds or 40 kilograms. Meaning, of course, we've got some math to do. Like with every other Steel-type Pokemon, we figured out what type of metal they actually are in this old video here. And thanks to this Pokemon being basically entirely metal, and now we have its weight and size, we can figure it out too. I mean, we even did a video on what metal Mario is made of when he's metal. Metal Mario, specifically, the Mario that's metal. Apparently, someone here at Noggin likes metallurgy. It's Josh. He's a massive dork. So, Duraludon is 40 kilograms and it's about 5'11", or 1.8 meters tall. Meaning that if it were a human of healthy weight, it would be between 155 and 189 pounds, or around 80 kilograms. Meaning that, first off, very lighter than a human of the same size. By half, even. So I guess when it comes to Duraludon, you could say it's lighter. Ha! Get it? It looks like a reusable portable oil-based tinderbox because it's British, so it's a tinderbox. Torches are those flashlights, not fire sources. So what could Duraludon possibly be? I mean, its density would have to be about half of a human's then, right? Well, that would only be the case if they were about the same volume. It definitely looks like there's quite a bit of wideness and bulk here compared to a human. So, we have quite a bit of error room here. Though, if a human had the same proportions, I'm sure that the human would be much, much heavier too, as well as being horrendous looking. Anyway, needless to say, while we're doing our best to estimate, these will still be rough estimations, but as you'll see in the end, it's actually pretty perfect and spot on. Roughly. So, the density of the human body is about 985 kilograms per cubic meter, meaning for every meter cubed it would weigh 985 kilograms. On Earth anyway. However, it's normally calculated in grams per cubic centimeter, which makes it easier to measure stuff in a lab. Basically, scientists can't afford a cubic meter of gold to test density. But then, using these numbers, a human's density would be around 0.985 grams per cubic centimeter. That's just making things more complicated. But that's not bad for a fleshy meat bag. A good reference would be water. Water is exactly 1. Again, it just makes things easy. Water is absolutely everywhere, so let's base our math on it. But another unit we could play around with is steel. Seeing as Duraludon has the wonderful type combo of Steel Dragon, and I have no idea about the density of a dragon, let's go with the steel part of it. Though, fun fact, I know it's not going to be made of steel. Most of the steel types aren't even steel. But common, mild steel has a density of about 8.05 grams per cubic centimeter, making him way too dense to be any semblance of solid in there. Like, not even cross beams, so it's obviously not steel. And this brings us to the first point of contention in this video. That being, I have no idea what I'm talking about. Wait, no. Right, because it's a negative on me, I gotta include everyone, otherwise I look bad. It's we now. We don't really know what we're talking about. By which I mean, who even knows if Duraludon is even solid? I mean, it could be hollow, and this would make the whole video wrong no matter what. Though it does make sense that it would be slightly hollow and not solid. It is an animal after all. It eats. It's gotta be at least somewhat donut-shaped. Or are all donuts slightly animal-shaped? And because of Duraludon's hollowness, its actual material would need to be far denser than a human. After all, a thin sheet of metal is rather light compared to a block of metal. And if it were only half as heavy, but incredibly small in volume comparatively, it would need to make up for that in its density. Meaning, since we don't know how thick its outer shell is, or what's inside of it, it could be anything! But we can always just make assumptions because they're fun. Basically, what I'm saying is, right now this is a total guess. And my guess is that Dan's density is around 2. That's what I'm getting at. And thankfully, there are a bunch of charts and sheets that we can look through to figure out metal densities. One notable element with a density close to 2 is graphite carbon, being 2.3. But we're looking for metal here, so that should help us limit down the options. We have cesium and magnesium at 1.7 and 1.9 respectively, so maybe we should look at some 3s and also look at some alloys, not just pure metals. Let's see, we got beryllium, aluminum, durallium. Durallium. Also, it's the alloy Pokemon apparently. And that's what Durallium is. It's mostly aluminum, but with some copper and other tiny bits of other metals mixed in. So, an alloy. An alloy that rusts like nobody's business, fitting the website description of this Pokemon. Maybe, if I had just remembered the name of this guy, we'd have gotten here much quicker. Duraludon. At first, I really thought it was going to just be Dura as in durable, but now that we know that it's made out of a lightweight material similar to aluminum, we can dive into metallurgy and find that Durallium happens to be decently close to my extremely rough estimates. And it fits the name. So what is Durallium? And does it make sense? Well, the answer to that is yes, it makes perfect sense. It's pretty great. Durallium is actually very similar to aluminum. In fact, it's basically industrial era aluminum, which fits perfectly into the Galar region. You know, I've said this a few times now in previous videos. Great Britain was at the forefront of the Industrial Revolution, thus there being remains and references to it throughout the whole Galar region. So this dragon being made out of an industrial era metal, that's cool. I mean, it kind of sucks for the Mon. It's kind of outdated. But still, the reference. It's neat. And plus, it being a light metal means it works out perfectly that it gets the light metal ability in game. Though it can also get the heavy metal ability. I suppose some of them have thicker armor than others, or more solid perhaps. Though they likely all share around the same density, that being the density of Durallium, which has a density of 2.78 grams per cubic centimeter. So, we're only slightly heavier than aluminum, but we're still totally able to be double a human's density, plus a bit more for the girth of the beast. So really, I guess my stupidity paid off. Now then, hopefully you enjoyed this very, very important video. It was quite helpful in making me still not want to have the Nodular on my team. Never stop using your noggin. And rock on.